I wake up, puddle of sweat. I have nightmares and I get back into bed. It's like these voices just keep playing on repeat in the back of my head, and I can't get them to leave me alone. 30 years old, but still hates being alone when I'm home, because that's when the voices get the loudest. Opening up like this is a moment far from my proudest, but these demons keep pressing me. I swear they're the foulest, but I've grown comfortable with their presence. My conscience is calloused. My dreams are their playground, my thoughts are their palace. I try to evict them, they return with more. Anxiety isn't an item you can return at the store. I was 10 the first time I had a panic attack. Like a punch to the stomach, there's no planning for that. And I didn't tell anyone because I was too scared about what they'd say. And I know deep down there was nothing they could do to take it away. It was my fight to fight and my battle to face. I remember that house I grew up in and how those demons would rattle that place. I'd lay awake at night just staring at the ceiling. I've spent my whole life trying to run from that feeling of being lonely, that feeling of being lost, that feeling of being sick when the lights turn off, that feeling of being depressed, that feeling of being anxious, that feeling of screaming to God, begging him to take this, only to get silence in return. I'd lay in that bed crying and I'd toss and I'd turn, and I turn and I toss to this day. The doctors gave me medication, the pastor said pray. I tried both and this anxiety still hasn't gone away. So forgive me if I fantasize about being gone today. I'm an actor who got really good at being on today, but when I turn off, I go right back into the shadows. I'm in the deep end now, but I started in the shallows, and I might just drown myself in these waves. Suburban hell, these homes are all graves. Everyone's coping with something but won't admit it. They're all too afraid, and these kids are glued to watching me. What do I say? If I'm honest with them, maybe they won't think highly of me. Everything they want me to be is what I'm dying to be, but everything I really am is what I'm not trying to be. I want them to know that they're not alone in their struggles. I wake up in tears and fall back asleep in those puddles, and I don't think I'll ever get out of this valley I'm in. Terrified that all along God has tallied my sins, and if he has, the number must be astronomical. My life is a joke and you keep reading just past the comic, because everything you think that I am is far from the truth. I wish I could open up to you and just let loose, but my vocal cords get tight when the devil pulls on this noose, and then I'm back to keeping everything bottled up inside. But he's not gonna keep me from pulling the throttle back this time. He's not gonna keep me trapped like this. I can't get out of bed, I was never made to act like this. I'm packing up my bags and he can't stop me from running fast like this. I'm not gonna be a slave to these voices of anxiety. I'm shoving the devil back for every time that he lied to me, and I'm taking a belt to these demons who whisper despair in my ear, and I'm ignoring every naysayer who stands and stares when I'm near. I'm moving forward out of this slump. I took my bruises, I took my lumps. I fell down, but I got right back up. So give me a torch and let's light that up. I'm setting fire to the devil and I'm dousing these demons in gasoline. Look at you now. Now you're not laughing at me. Now who's the one who's being tortured and punked? Now who's the one closing every door that I want? Now who's the one watching the other burn to the ground? Don't look away from me. You better turn back around. I'm not done talking to you now. I'm watching your moves. I'm on your back and I'm stalking you too. And when you try to ruin some other kid's life, I'll be stopping you too. You took 30 years of my life and I can't get that back. You told me to end my life and I nearly got killed for that. You took me down but I bounced right back. I was lost then and I got found like that. And everything you told me I wasn't, someone new told me I was. And everything you hated in me, someone new told me he loves. And when you tried to kill me with depression and anxiety, he reached in and placed hope deep inside of me. So I'm done listening to you and letting you control me. I'm announcing it now that the devil can't hold me. I'm walking away from the old me, and I'm demanding a refund on every lie that you sold me. You knew I'd find a way out sooner or later, and I found my escape in the form of a savior.
Hello everyone. This is Ronewa Mpamudao, aka Haditha Nyotha. Did you miss us? Because we definitely missed you guys. It's that time of the week where we meet and discuss issues and amazing facts. For those that are new, this is a culture and art show, hence the name, The Cultural Movement, which is our main focus is poetry, right? So poetry is important. It's a mirror held against the world, a mirror made of words that was that was a great example of what I'm talking about. A poem that about depression and anxiety. That was Dear Anxiety by Spoken Word, and that's how we choose to start our today's show. But to join in, have or have suggestions, like topic suggestions, please do comment down below on Facebook and on YouTube, guys. Please do not forget that, we're in this together. But today, I am not here alone. I am here with my sister. Chills. And Mr. Miracle, who is a poet. I felt that he'd be an amazing contribution of this, because I understand that you're a writer.
Yes, I am.
Yes, and he's from Nigeria. Right now, he's in Nigeria. Yeah, all the way from Nigeria, we have Miracle. How do I pronounce your name?
Miracle, you pronounce it well.
I pronounced it well. Awesome. So now we have this topic, anxiety and depression. Very, very sensitive. It's one of the most, I don't know, very, very sensitive. But in your opinion, what is that? Let's start there. What is that to you? What does depression mean to you? Have you experienced depression or anxiety? Of course you have, but yeah.
Okay, I've experienced depression and anxiety, and truth be told, I've been living with it for the past 5 years of my life. So I kind of understand it very well, because it's more like a cage in which someone is locked up in. Like there was a time a friend of mine asked me, what do you think depression is? The own words, not the dictionary definition or whatever they say on the internet. So I replied that depression and anxiety is just like when someone is locked inside a cage and two things are kept in front of him, a gun and a key. And the key is the key to the cage. But then at the end of it all, the person has to pick what the gun instead of the key. Then I was asked, why would the person pick the gun instead of the key? And to be told, when you're locked into a cage like depression, it's like you're being locked inside a cage, drop the key inside, but the lock is from the outside. And you can never reach the lock because it's from the outside. It's like all this prison that is locked deep within, and the lock is only on the outside. So even if you pick up the key, it's more like you're just picking up a key that you can't open. So while someone stays too long, that's why mostly depressed people end up committing suicide. It's more like they're picking up the gun at the wrong age because they don't have help. Everyone says they should get help, but truth be told, no one wants to help a depressed individual. No one wants to help someone who is suffering from depression. No one wants to connect with anybody suffering from depression. It's very, very hard. And the stigma being created by the society makes it that when you're suffering from depression, it's more like you're suffering from leprosy or any contagious disease like COVID-19, and everybody tries as much as possible to avoid you. And why being avoided, they tend to become alone, they tend to become lonely, they tend to become outcast. And why being outcast, everyone is still telling them you have to get better, but no one is helping them. Just like we're all shouting at them, pick up the key, but no one is helping them to open the lock. So it's more like why staying there over and over and over again. We tend to give up. It's not something, it's not like a magical stuff or something out of the blue. It's natural. The longer you stay in the cage, the more you just either you adapt to the cage or you just give up. That's one thing about it. And many people end up becoming suicidal when they don't get help. So that's my definition of depression. You're in a cage with the rock and the key.
But now, as we are both, Africans, and we just wish Africa is more of a country than a continent. But it is what it is. But I'd like to believe that African parents, African people handle depression or anxiety differently. Actually, it's a taboo to even be depressed. Like, why are you depressed? Why should you be depressed? It's the devil, or you should, it's wrong. It's not a right thing. It's not the best thing. That it's really sad being an African child that is really crying for help, and then now you feel like you don't belong in a society. You don't belong anywhere. You feel lost, and that stigma of that she's depressed, she's gonna put her bad energy on me, it's really prominent around in our society, in our African societies. It's really sad that you sit down and you look like you like white people things, like no offense, not anything. It looks like you're saying, oh, you watch too much TV, that's why you're depressed. But I feel like depression is not acknowledged in the African continent for years. Actually psychological health, mental health has never been prioritized. And as the more modernized we grow or whatever, that's when, we need this. We need this because nowadays internet is a lot going on, peer pressure and everything. So now, for you growing up, you say in your 5 years, do you think that there's something specific in the society that creates anxiety and depression?
I don't really see anything special in the society that could lead to depression and anxiety. For me, I really see it more like a virus, like a sickness that affects people every now and then, just like malaria, typhoid, all these normal sickness. Like, though they have causes, but there are generally many causes, but none in particular. It can be peer pressure, it can be stigma or any other thing. But if we start looking at depression and anxiety like sicknesses, like viruses, then I think we can get it cured better than when we try to stigmatize the individuals who are suffering from this. So when we talk about the causes, there are so many causes that we have to talk about, and we might not end up like today. We might just end up today just talking about the causes because the causes are everywhere and are specific to each individual.
Yeah.
So it depends on getting the individual, diagnosing the individual, and knowing exactly what caused this rather than generalizing everything.
So, okay, the last question, not for the day, but as a writer, as a poet, how important is it to actually normalize mental health or mental awareness, mental health awareness? How important is it as a writer, as a poet?
I think it should be put at 100% priority because this thing is one of the biggest killers of the youth today. We might just talk about people going into drugs, doing one thing or the other, but at the end of everything, like they are trying to escape from something, they're trying to run away from something that causes them depression and anxiety, and with that, they end up into so many vices. It's easy to end up into vices when you are suffering from these things. Like you just want to make it all stop, and while trying to make it all stop, you can go into so many other things. So I think it should be put at 100% priority.
Okay, awesome, guys. Yeah, that is our co-host today, Mr. Miracles. He's gonna be showing us some miracles today, showing us, how to do things, how to. I'm kidding. Yeah, that is a miracle. He's a writer, and of course, yeah. Yeah. So let us go take a break, and soothe our souls with a song. And this is your girl Ronewa Mpamudao, aka Haditha Nyotha. And please, if you have some queries or you have something to say on this topic, please do comment down below on Facebook and on YouTube. So yeah, Miss Chiriti, take it away.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. Night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy waters. You know I got a made up mind, and I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone, and I just might fail, but Lord knows I'll try. Shine stars fill up the sky. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Do you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
That
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.
yeah, guys, that was a beautiful song by Cynthia Erivo called Stand Up. And guys, if you want to join in the conversation, please do comment down below on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you're listening to us online, then just catch up maybe some other time. Yeah, this is your girl Nyotha Pamudao, aka Haditha Nyotha, and I am not alone. I am with Miracle Poet and Writer. And yeah, we are having a very sensitive topic today, which is depression and anxiety, which is a pandemic, or let me say a pandemic that we're facing. Pandemic that we're facing, and I don't feel like it's getting enough recognition as it should, you know. So now, Mr. Miracle, I think that's the way, just to show you respect. Uh, you know what? I said it's like you said before. You said it's a disease. Depression, anxiety is a disease. In South Africa, we lost one of our prominent rappers or artists called Ricky Rick. We talked about this the last time we had our show, and yeah, it's really touching, and I'd love to think that we are far from winning this battle of depression and anxiety. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
It is a way far, because some people are gonna say, oh no, money gives you stress or whatever. But if you think about it, it's even poor people or people that are just surviving are committing suicide. Especially now, like we mentioned, it's not a recognized disease or whatever issue it is. It's not recognized as it should, right? So would you say that we are free? I'm not talking about physical freedom. We like to say Africa should be safe, but do you think we are heading the right direction in terms of freedom? Because freedom also implies mental freedom. Do you think we're even close to that?
Well, truth is, I don't believe we are free now. Yes, we might have had independence, freedom, but what about the mental independence? And
Yeah,
well, the word I might use is neo-colonialism. We've been colonized physically, and yes, we have a freedom from that. But talk about our mental freedom, because if we can look at our culture today, our culture today is far different from the culture of our ancestors. Well, a very firm believer in our ancestors, because I believe our ancestors had many ways to solve problems like this, even problems like depression and anxiety. So now we so much depend on the Western world for so many things of our lives, from the way we are meant to eat, the way we are meant to go to school, the way we are meant to read, even the way we are meant to solve the problems of depression and anxiety. Like we so much depend on the Western culture
yeah,
for everything. And
yeah,
that is a very big problem for us. The whites are not us. Their mode of thinking is far different from our mode of thinking. Their way of life is far different from our way of life. And they have very, very big differences between the both of us. So if we can, let's say we can drop the Western culture for a bit and focus on ourselves, and we'll be like, okay, let's try to live the African way. Let's try to become Africans once again. I think we might have that very much privilege and have that chance to help ourselves, have that chance to go and solve this problem. Because this problem is actually eating roots deep into us. Like it's already taking part of everything about us. So I think if we can solve the problem, I think that will be very much helpful.
Oh, I'm really, really, really sorry. I really am. I have network problems. Yeah, okay. Hopefully the audience heard what you were saying. Because of time, we kind of have to keep on moving. So my next question is, don't you ever wonder like how they dealt with it, like our ancestors, how they dealt with things like that, or did it not exist, or is there even a such thing that something like that does not exist?
I think it should exist. It should have existed by then because depression is not something that is new. As a Christian, like the book of Ecclesiastes says, there is nothing new under the sun. So if there's nothing new under the sun, depression must have existed far then. One of the ways I think they solved this is that they actually had to prevent the causes of depression. And I think one of the main causes of depression is stigma. You know, when people start getting stigmatized and they start looking on to people to, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have been this, you should have been that, trying to compare someone to be like someone else instead of letting the person be himself. Uh, for our for my part of Nigeria, I'm Igbo by the way. So we have something what we call she. She is like the essence that someone came to the world with. Just like when God was creating us, God gave each of us a different essence, like it's like our purpose for this world. So we have to believe that each person is so different. And with that, we can't compare people to become like this or become like that or be this or be that. So we're expecting you to be yourself, to be who you are, no matter who you want to be. But if you look at these modern times, like a family might give birth to a child, and the next thing is that you're just giving birth to a child and you're saying, hey, boy, you have to be a doctor. I don't understand that. Like, you're telling the guy already that he has to be a doctor, and all your life you're trying to push the guy into being a doctor, even if being a doctor isn't what the person wants. But they don't care because that's how the Western world has made us see the world.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if we can go back to the part of, yes, look at children and we allow them to be themselves, like I think this stigmatization would end because right now we are prioritizing many things over others. I mean, like seriously, being a writer in Nigeria is very, very hectic. Like people look up to you like you are jobless, you have nothing to give for the world. Yeah, if you're not a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer, you are nothing. So that stigmatization can lead so many people into depression and
yeah,
the anxiety sets in. So I think that our ancestors actually solved the causes of this problem, even though they might not have, had a written down formula or a health prescription, but they knew that these things cause depression and they had to solve it before the depression kicks in. So it's not like you're killing depression before it comes in. So I think if you can be looking back to our ancestors, we can have the answers to solve this problem.
yeah, yeah. That's deep. That really is. We've forgotten ourselves, forgotten our identity. But anyway, we move, we grow. It's like it is what it is. So I wrote a poll. I wrote this yesterday. I'm not gonna read or recite all of it. Um, it goes like this: the world changes more than we can blink. A child is born every second. They are taught to walk, talk, and how to think. Our selfish desire to change the world for a better place can't begin to describe the narcissistic and evilness of this world. Where doing good is an achievement, but we don't know what good and bad is anymore, but rely on our absurd beliefs. A world where God became money to money, meaning nothing, only praised for its deeds. A world where victims of violent crimes are scolded. They should have done things differently, not realizing this was the same society's fault, for not recognizing that the suspect needed help, but it continues to fail. Because I need remorse and gentle treatment like he needed. A world that you would always have to expect the worst because of people who reflect their fears and disappointments on you. A world where the love and warmth of a mother started and ended in her womb. Her love is only expressed through her mouth and what she can afford to buy using the same money that is God and money that is worthless. This really makes you wonder what love is. This is not the full poem, but yeah, that is the poem. Having that in mind, having anxiety, because I feel like, because I also had struggles with that. You just think a lot about the world. You tend to hate it. You tend to question a lot of things. And then these are the things that I've been asking myself is, you know what, we like to point fingers like, oh, the devil does this bad, the devil made me do it, this and this. And then we forget how evil we ourselves can be. I'm not saying don't blame him. Yeah, of course it does. But I'm just saying, Woodzi, we are forgetting that we're not always great people. Everyone is good in their head. Everyone is perfect. Everyone is, and then we don't look at that. That's why I mentioned that poetry is a mirror, right? I don't know if you have work to share with us today. Do you?
For now, I don't have any poem. It's more like stigmas about depression that really kills our society. I
Oh,
have like 2 or 3 stigmas. And the first one about that is I always hear people saying we are all in the same boat. When we talk about life, people will say we are all in the same boat. But I just tell them that we are not all in the same boat. Yes, we might all be in the same storm called life, yes, but we're not all in the same boat. Why some are in ships, very big ships like the Titanic, some are in simple boats, while some are struggling to swim. So it's more like we need to be kind to people, like what our ancestors talked about, the Ubuntu. When I read about the Ubuntu, I was really shocked. These are what our ancestors believe. They believe that I am here because you are here. We are all here because one of us is here. So if we can believe that we have a chain connecting all of us together. So if you are not here, I cannot be here. And if I cannot be here, you cannot be here. We start having a change in our perspective. So if I meet you and you are struggling, the best thing I can do is to be kind and not, criticize you or call you names about this or about that, or tell you that it's actually your fault. I usually see
yeah,
this post saying, if you are born poor, it's not your mistake. If you die poor, it's your mistake. Like
yeah,
someone dying poor. When we look at the society, things are not always equal. Things have never been equal. All men are not created equal. We need to be like that.
yeah,
Some are created with silver spoons, some are created without a spoon, and some are actually, when you wonder how they were created, when you see how they were born, and you're expecting that person to, get out of the crumbs without any help. And you are wondering, how can you get out of the crumb without help? So that's why we all need the best we can do is to be kind, help people out when we can. And if we can't, at least let's live with some kind words and not trying to stigmatize the person or trying to create a stigma, try to, shun the person out.
yeah,
Then the second stigma here is that, when we talk about the causes of depression, when someone talks about his own part of depression and someone else might say, oh, I've been through this and nothing happened to me, right? Seriously, I don't understand. I usually tell people that, see, we all enter the same water. That is the same water that I'm relevant to enter and if you wish to use needs. When you take a dog there, it might cover up the dog. So it's not about the water, it's about us. We all have our shock absorbers. My shock absorber might be low, yours might be high. So what you might have survived to, I might not have survived it to. So depression and anxiety, it doesn't matter what you survived to. You should not measure it like you're measuring a scale. Someone suffering from it is someone that needs help, not
yeah,
someone that you should start measuring the scale. Hey, I survived through this, I went through this, and you'll be like, oh, I went through this. Why can't you go through this? You're meant to have gone through this. So it's something that we should all try to aspire to help people, just like when you get to a hospital, someone that, let's say one mosquito bites you and you get malaria, and the next person, like 10 mosquitoes have to bite you to get malaria. The doctor won't be telling you that, hey, just one mosquito bit you and you're getting malaria. How do you think of this? And you just tell, let me take the 10 mosquitoes first before the one mosquito. No, the doctor is prioritizing everybody. You are sick and you are sick. That's all that matters. And you need help and you need help. That's all that matters. So if we can channel this into depression and anxiety, I think we might be able to solve it. We might be able to you know, get help and move in a positive direction for this.
Yeah. Well said. It's a very, very dark topic, but I feel like we should get to talk about this. This should be normal. It should be everything normal. It should be a topic that, like coronavirus, the way we talk about coronavirus, just anyway, yeah, still here with my boy, Mr. Miracle. Not Mr. Miracle, but his name is Miracle. And I am Ranewa Pamudao, aka Haditha Nyotha. And please, guys, do comment down below on YouTube and Facebook. And right now, yeah, chills. Show us what you got. Yeah, Judy, time to shine, baby. Are you able, Trinity? Are you able to play?
To play?
To play the song?
Yes.
Yes, please. I'm sorry, I was waiting. What's going on? Is it still playing? The song? Huh?
that we can stand and fight against the enemy. The weapons they may form, but won't succeed. We already declared the victory. Let the redeemed of the Lord tell the stories. By his grace we are walking testimonies. For thine is the kingdom and the glory. And we'll praise you, Lord, forever because you're holy, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika, nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika, nakupenda sana.
Yes. We had to take it to the church because, it was just getting too heated and very dark. We needed something just to just a little bit more and put some light to us, yeah, that was Lord, You Are Holy Ballin' by Kanye West and his choir. And yeah, guys, it's been a very, I wouldn't say hectic, but it's been a very dark, interesting show for me. Personally, I don't know how you guys found it, but do comment down below on Facebook and tell us, maybe your experiences or just get into the conversation. So yeah, there are a few people that I'd like to handpick with them. It says this other guy says we need to make mental health a priority, not now there's too much happening to African people. And then they would Sidwina Basani Fresh Karele says, indeed, they are sensitive issues. However, the word sensitive, when we talk about depression and anxiety, is what exactly makes more people want to ventilate. It will be awesome if we normalize that kind of talk. And then he also adds on and says, poetry holds high God. And Stanley Kasambala says, power. Okay, those comments I could get to, and yeah, I'm glad you guys are engaging, and I'm happy that you guys find this helpful to somebody. And guys, if you are facing anxiety issues, depression, suicidal thoughts, whichever one or all of them, please do go try to find help. Have groups, go get counseling, reach out to somebody that you may trust. I know it's hard to trust people. Yeah. So, Miracle. So now tell me, where can we find you on social media? Where can people follow you? Where can we get your work? Like, where do we find you?
Okay. First you can find me on Twitter and Instagram with the name GLAIVE, then _ WRITES. That's on Instagram and Twitter. Then on Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/miracle. You can drop it there. Then most of my work is on a website, milebooks.com. So when you enter milebooks.com, you can find most of my work, my novels, my poems, my articles, and so many other things.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Awesome. And thank you again, Miracle, for joining us today. You really educated us on this topic since this is really personal to you. Any last words you'd like to say something?
Okay. For anyone suffering from depression and anxiety like out there, the only thing I can tell you is that it's okay to suffer from these things. I mean, like, you shouldn't be, you shouldn't feel alone, you shouldn't feel outcasted because you suffer from this. Like, I've been living with this for the past 5 years and I understand the stigma and every other thing associated with it. So it's okay to suffer from this. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to not be okay. So when you start to understand that it's okay to be this, that's when you start getting help. There is help out there. That's all I can say for you. There is help out there. There is so many people bad in the world, but there are still good people, and I can attest to that. So find help, get help, no matter what it takes. Try to live for yourself. I sometimes hear people say, why can't people suffering from depression are selfish, people that side are selfish, stay be selfish. Try to find help for yourself. Try to live for yourself. At least now that you are sick, try to find a cure no matter what it takes, Do what you enjoy most. That's one of the ways to get out from depression. If it's art, if it's poetry, if it is writing, if it is singing, sing on top of your voice, right? Sing as if no one is there. Do your music, do anything that can help you get out. When you get out, you can start worrying about what people think. But for now, just do it, do what is best for you, and finally, just don't hurt people. As long as you don't hurt people, anything that you do is okay. That's my final words.
Thank you so much, Miracle. He does say in his words, he says it's okay. And that's where you start. Let it be okay with you. Let it be okay with your soul. And you will move. And yeah, guys, thank you for joining us wherever you are. If you traveling, please travel safe and have a blessed week. Nyotha on Twitter and Instagram, and Ronewa Mpamudao on Facebook. Please do follow me if you want more of my work. And yeah, thank you everyone again. And yeah, stay safe, be kind to one another, and be okay. So yeah, thank you. DJ Chiriti, also thank you for your contribution. And yeah, please take us away with the one last audio, the last poem.
I knew a girl once who lived in a house made out of skin, with the spine of time stretched through it. The slightest wind would make it spin. It trapped a symphony of voices, an escalating cacophony of whirlwinds, each one a pinpoint in time, an etched groove in her mind, but she refused to unravel, terrified of what she might find. Instead, she spent her days living from the outside in. She wore the badges of silence and learned to bend with most winds. And when the horns would blow, she'd let their fury rain from within, protected by falsehoods and pride, a thick societal skin. But to the world, she glowed like the moon and sun's origins, wrapped up in someone else's skin. Open your eyes, realize when your true voice calls that no lies will hold it within. Every day of your life, a new truth you will write, but with your eyes closed, you will spin. That's when the whispers begin, that she was colored by incest, colored by date rape, colored by pretenses, false representations, false mandates. Open your eyes, realize when your true voice calls that no lies will hold it within. Every day of your life, a new truth you will write, but with your eyes closed, you will spin.
guys. Please, thank you for joining us. And yeah, that was Lebohang Machine. No, a new girl is a beautiful poem prominent. And yes, once again, thank you, Miracle. Thank you, Opportunity. And to the world, please enjoy the rest of the week. Bye.